Good day, traders. Hoping that everybody's doing well today. Let's hop on the market and see what we can grab, see what we can take advantage of, and hopefully get some pips for the day. Can you guys just confirm if my sound is good, if my video is clear, and then I can get started. While you're on it, we had the setup yesterday, which was on the Trading Nut podcast, on the Trading Nut stream in the morning. And this was playing with us a bit. We had our sell stop somewhere here, and it literally just turned. Let me just show you quickly. Sound is good. First, drop your pairs on the side there as well. So we had this setup entry yesterday. There's a sell stop in this region here. And then price actually did go and hit our 1R broke even, but it never really got to the 2R perfectly, because once it hit this zone here, this was supposed to close half the trade, but it was a bit of a mess from there. But now it literally did come back and hit our zone, but we were not going to get this trade, mainly because after 2 trades would have hit and broke even twice, which means this region here was not going to look good on us. So that's where the bummer is. But it happens. It happens as one of those. So I'm going to restart the setup again and see what we can find for the day. I see morning Frederick from Singapore. Always wanted to visit there. Always wanted to visit there. So hopefully I'll do that soon. And then we've got Kevin Joseph. How are you, man? How are you? I see you want us to look at US 30. Okay, we'll take a look at US 30. Drop some more pairs on the side, guys. Drop some more pairs, and then I can definitely hop on and take a look at them. Okay, so we also had this one as well yesterday. Also didn't hit our zone. It literally is playing around with us as well, but we do have a decent sell stop right now. So you can have your sell stop, but now you're going to increase your stop loss to just above this wick here at the top. So our trade would look something like that. And of course, the entry is still fine. And we are targeting these lows. So this is sell stop that you can trigger now. Kevin from South Africa. Awesome, man. So this is what you're looking at on US 13. And beautiful. Actually, before we even continue, I'm just going to share with you guys something as well, coming from our Wushu 2.0 that you must check out. Just check out the Telegram. Keep an eye on our Instagram as well, and YouTube. We'll be dropping the promo video hopefully today or tomorrow. You can just take a look at it. It's a pretty impressive tool that will help with these type of setups. So in other words, a setup like this, I'm just going to give you guys a bit of a heads up. The gold one that we just had would have probably made half of whatever we risked. So with the new Wushu, of course. So if you do get your hands on it, there will be a launch pretty soon. You can pre-order. I'll drop that on the site as well. So what we'll be basically doing now, we have a hedge option attached to it. So it's a new feature that we've added. And what that means now is for every single setup that you actually do risk, whatever you risk, you are most likely going to close with half profit. So if you risk 1,000, you will most likely end up with the 500 profit on the trade. For either 70 to 80% of the time. Sometimes the spreads will get you, and then that will basically render it invalid and you will lose that setup. But do give us a shout once you drop the video. And yeah, that's another nifty tool that we have coming, and you'll definitely enjoy it. It'll definitely give you guys something good to work with. Moving forward, I see we've got Kumar here. How are you, man? How are you, man? Drop your pairs, guys. Drop your pairs on the side, and then I can definitely take a look at them. I see you've got Mzandila Morning here. He wants us to look at GU and AUD. So let's take a look at GU. And like I always start, always want to know what the daily is telling us. Once you've got what the daily is telling us, we're able to analyze efficiently and potentially get some nice setups. So on the daily alone, you can potentially see that we did have a decent BOS over here at the 24032 level. and which means price is currently at the OB, the daily OB, by the way. So we have that daily OB here, and just hopping on now to a lower time frame just to find an OB that we can work with, because it's currently inside. It's currently working on the daily OB. So let's just refine it a bit further so we can get an OB that we can trade this from, unmitigated. And so far we've got this one right here. So this will be taken from the daily, by the way, guys. Don't forget that. And remember, we don't use limit orders, and that's where now our beautiful Wushu 2.0 is going to be coming in. It'll basically place these trades for you, so you don't really have to wait for the price to trigger. So whether you're sleeping or not, it'll basically do that for you. You'll just input the entry, input the stop loss, and what it does is when price gets into the zone, it'll trigger a sell stop. And then once the price triggers, it'll continue going down. And then once you hit 1R, it'll move your stop to entry. And then once you hit 3R, it'll close half the trade and move your stop to 1R. It'll do this automatically, guys. So that's the beauty about the new Wushu 2.0. And you can basically trade all sessions. All you do is analyze with us in the morning and then input all the figures. And then from there, come back again the next day and see how many trades were closed good, how many were closed bad. It does limit your loss as well. So if you do have a bad day, it will not allow you to lose more than 1% of your account. It'll basically shut everything down. And that's the beauty about it. Okay, moving forward. This is on the daily, by the way. So now let's see what we have on the hourly. On the hourly, we had this massive BOS over here, but I doubt price will highly come back down to pick up this order. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. See what we have on the 4. On the 4 hour, we had this decent downtrend. We had this move to the downside, a retracement, a bit of a range, and then breakout structure again. But then now we had this BOS. So now we basically don't know if we are in a bit of a retracement going back to the top, or if this was a fake out and we're going to come back down, breaking the structure. But essentially waiting for price to come back into this region and, of course, go down based on the daily time zone. And then on the hourly, there's nothing clear. On the 4 hour, still nothing clear. So we are going to skip that for now. Let me close that. Let's take a look at the lower time frame. Oh, by the way, the beauty about it as well, the new Wushu, is that you can trade any time frame. So like just now, I just gave you guys the daily. Once you do get another setup on the 15, you can still input it. On the 1 minute, you can still input it. You can input it literally on every single setup that you find, and it'll run all of them simultaneously. Okay, so let's move forward. See what we have here on the 15. I usually never go below the 1 hour, but just for the sake of the request there, we do. We're still stuck in a range here. But if you take a look at this region here, we most probably are going to find something decent. Let me just zoom in and show you guys. Okay, so we had the high. We had this minor retracement here, and then which actually became a breaker structure. But now there's a sensitive area. So we're most probably going to get this price go back into this order here and tank from there. So let's see how it looks on the 1 minute. Definitely. Now this is where now you start scalping, which is something that we do not like doing. We prefer to just put the trades, put the setups, and then of course allow the Wushu to take over. We prefer not being on the screens most of the time. We'd rather place the setups and then come back and see how the market went. So we had something like that. Beautiful. So that's the setup on the 1 minute. So now if you go to the 5, we want the order in here, because now when you go deeper inside, you can see you have another structure. You've got a BOS here. Price came back. You're most probably going to get another BOS right now, but we are not going to entertain that. We're just going to focus on the 5 minute. And then let's see how that works out. So here's a candle that we can potentially work with, slightly mitigated. But it is. We can work with this one here. This one was mitigated, and then you can use that high, and then you will have a decent setup, and because of the stop loss range. Remember, guys, when you start going deeper into price, you're going to find yourself with very tight stops, very tight spreads. This is a 6.2. So also watch your broker. And then let's see how that works. So here's your setup. And of course, going to the downside. I wouldn't like the odds of this, mainly because we're trading in a range. And because we're trading in a range. And when you trade in a range, it's a bit tricky because now you're limited to literally this zone here. And now when you look at the potential of the setup, that means at most you can get 1.6. And if you refine it further and use our little trick here, where you literally just go halfway off this stop loss range and you do that. Now the issue here is your stop loss becomes way too tight. And if it's too tight, your broker and the spreads will hurt you. You'll get kicked out of the setup. So that's like a 4.4 pip stop loss range. And you really do not want that. So you'd rather keep it as is on GU. And by the way, this is one of the reasons why we don't really go tight on our setups, because of these tight spreads. So you can have a setup, and we'll have an alert right there for you guys. And then I'll take it from there. Awesome, guys. So let's check up the next setup. So here we've got two setups on it. We've got the daily and the scalping one. So you have a setup inside here. And that's the beauty about trading with us, guys. You'll find a setup anywhere, everywhere, and anywhere. So you've got the 5 minute in here, and then you've got the daily in here. So that's how you want to take advantage of the markets, guys. There's always an opportunity everywhere. Everywhere you'll find an opportunity. Awesome. Moving forward, I see we wanted to look at AUD as well, AUD USD. Let's see how that looks. Always start at the daily. Let's try to see what's going on the daily. And then I see we've got, well, Kevin James is asking, let me open here. Does the tool load the trades automatically? Do you set the entry in SL? Sounds good. Interested. Yes. So you basically just input the stop loss and the entry and the risk. So usually we'll risk 0.2% of the account, and then it'll lot size for you and do everything for you. Yeah. And then good morning, Vic. Morning, Vic. Where are you from, Vic? Where are you from? And then we've got Forex Expert Advisors. Let's grow together. Yep, let's definitely do that. Let's grow. And then, hi, Taviso. I see you want us to look at UCAD and NAS 100. We'll do that. So usually with the NAS 100 and US30, they're highly correlated, guys. Highly correlated. And we do have this setup here, which I marked yesterday. It's still valid. This is the daily, by the way. It was taken from the daily, if I'm not mistaken. So that's still valid. And then we did have a setup inside here, which triggered and then tanked. I'm just going to show you guys how that worked. There we go. So it did trigger right here, and then went all the way down to a 2R, closed half the trade. So now it's back again in the region. So you can actually have a sell stop right now and literally have it all the way down. So you'll have a sell stop right here. I'm just going to put that alert so I can get notified when it triggers. And then, of course, manage it accordingly, looking at 1R, 2R, 3R, 5R, all depending on your risk appetite. We usually prefer to close at 5R. That's when you're aggressive. And then, that's also one of the features on the tool. You'll decide if you're going to go aggressive or standard. Standard, it closes your setups at 3R. It closes half the trade at 3R. It moves stops to entry at 1R, of course, and then moves from there. Aggressive, it moves up to entry at 1R and then closes half at 5R. So all depends on you, by the way. Okay, moving forward. So this is an active trade. I actually don't think I need to go deeper into this. You can look at yesterday's stream on Trading Nut, and you will see how we basically scrutinized and got to this setup right here. Okay, and moving forward, UCAD. Let's take what UCAD does. So usually I look at 3 setups, guys. 3. And then the rest I just move on to the advanced signals and take it from there. Always start with the daily, just so you see where you are in price. You don't want to get wicked out. Okay, so on the daily, you are actually in the OB. You are inside, so you can scrutinize it. Let's find an OB, refined OB inside this OB. So we are finding an OB inside the OB, so we can have a nice buy from it. And then let's see how the 1 hour looks. We want one that's unmitigated. And so far, I see that one only. And then we do keep the lows, always keep the lows. Let's take a look at the 15 and see what we've got in here. Okay, there we go. Nothing here. This one was mitigated. This one was not mitigated, so you could have something here. Slightly tapped into. But yeah, so that's how to approach it. You can. So you'd have a setup right there. This is a daily, by the way. It's a daily move. And there you go. Perfect. Then you're targeting the highs, of course. And then there we go. Add an alert. There we go. Perfect. And then there we go. 100%. So that's where we are. And just mark that and wait for price to get in. Never, ever use limit orders. You will get wicked out. You're not going to like trading this way. Awesome, guys. And I think that's about it. We just did 4 pairs. Yeah, we just did 4 instruments actually. Indices. We tapped on gold, and that's about it. I see. Kevin Joseph, you can actually drop us an inbox on Telegram or in the email. Just check on our website, www.uniforexdojo.com. And we actually do have a bit of a promo for people that are actually watching this, whereby we'll be giving away the bootcamp with the new Wushu. And yeah, so if you do drop us an inbox, we'll drop you some info on that. Morning, Jonathan. I think you are in the advanced signals channel, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, let's trade, man. Let's trade. How much are your one-on-one lessons? So we don't give one-on-one lessons. It's just the bootcamp, the whole bootcamp. You just get the bootcamp and then hop onto the Discord. And then once you're in the Discord, you can actually have your Zoom sessions in there. So we don't have single one-on-one sessions. You just hop onto the bootcamp and then, yeah, learn from there. That's it. It's value for money. Okay. Thank you for the valuable content. Please tell us more about this tool. Yeah, I'm going to be dropping the video today. It just summarizes everything about it. And then, yeah, we'll be opening pre-orders on it along with the bootcamp promo launch with it. I hope you guys are good today. We are going to hop onto the London live now and see what else we can find on it. If you're not on the bootcamp, hop on it. If you're not on the signals, hop on that as well. Any more questions from you guys, you can drop them on the side. I'll just hold on for a bit and then hop off. See, Kevin is asking, is this tool specific to brokers? No, it's not. Any broker, you can use it. It's on MT5, Windows and Apple. So you'll be good with that. And yeah, so I think the only issue that you'll have with brokers is your spreads. So remember now, also depends on your trading, by the way. So if you're trading with prop firms like your FTMOs and them, the spreads are very low. So once you do take advantage of one of the best features we have on it, which is the hedging option, and you've got very tight spreads, you will definitely be profitable over the long term. And then other than that, any broker, you can use it. It does manage the trade accordingly. So it's basically how I trade, how I become consistent, automated. So it literally just removes you from the screens. All you do is analyze, get your setups, and move from the screens. So you end up removing the emotions, removing your eyes from the P&L, because that usually causes people to move their stops, adjust setups. You don't want that. The only time that you actually do adjust this trade is when you come back onto the tool, either close the trade or remove the trade and restart a new setup. So that's about it. I hope I've answered most of your questions. And then I see, how do we find the Discord or Telegram? On Telegram, you can just search for, let me just share my Telegram user, and then you can just drop me a text if you can't find my channel. It's Uniforex Dojo. If you just type Uniforex Dojo, you should be able to find it. But yeah, other than that, there's the link. And that's about it, guys. I'm about to hop off and get prepped for the London Open. I hope you guys are good. Remember to manage your risk. You don't need to over risk. You don't need to take aggressive risk. Literally minimize the risk, capitalize, take care of the downside. The upside will take care of itself. Happy trading, guys. Cheers, eh?